Hey, today I'm going to be talking about my ePortfolio, and let's start with the homepage. Basically, for this page, I wanted to try not to be too text heavy just because most of the portfolio is pretty text heavy, and another thing is it's a homepage, so it's kind of supposed to be an introduction to the site. But what I did hit on with my limited text that I included was the importance of contribution, and that's because I feel like if you kind of look at the digital article as a whole, the ePortfolio as a whole, I feel like a big trend you'll notice is the importance of contribution and the importance of spreading your knowledge, not only spreading your knowledge to a community of writers, but also kind of opening avenues for other writers to explore as well. And so you're really contributing to your community's knowledge with this. And your growth, as far as your growth as of a writer, your growth as a writer, personally, and everything is very important. But if you don't show it in your contribution, then I don't know how much it's worth. But next, I'm going to go into my finding knowledge page, which is this is where I kind of tried to discuss how much I learned and the main points, I guess you'd say, of the inquiry process. And something I found frustrating about this, and this is one of the most frustrating parts of my portfolio, was I felt like I was kind of at a lack of words for describing inquiry, even though I have a pretty good idea of what it is and how much it helped me. Because I mean, I would be sitting there not feeling like I had nothing else to write about in my digital article, and then I would try to explore some new avenues and kind of go a different way with it. And like basically, the process of inquiry is just exploring new avenues and trying to like enlighten yourself into new areas of study that you didn't even consider. And the inquiry process did a lot of that for me. I mean, I'm around hip hop. I mean, a good portion of my day-to-day life is spent around hip hop music, not only hip hop music, but hip hop culture on social media and everything else. And so it's very much something I didn't think I could learn anything about. And the inquiry process taught me that there's a lot to learn about it. And I mean, for example, the inquiry process taught me that even the rappers that aren't even the rappers that don't care about don't necessarily, don't necessarily care about helping the youth and helping the next generation and whatever else and improving their conditions. Even if they grew up in them, they don't really. Even if they don't care about helping those people by rapping about the conditions they grew up in and the conditions they face and how it made them who they are, they're making it more known to the public that people are going through this stuff every day. I mean, you go look at the numbers. I mean, Chicago, you go to Chicago and everything, and all these people are dying from murders and everything, and just I mean, every single one of those people who dies knows somebody, you know, and basically by spreading out, hey, like, yo, in the rap songs, they're talking about my brother's getting killed, blah, 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 this and that. They're making the public more aware of those conditions, and without the hip hop community, I don't know necessarily that. Well, you can almost say for a fact that without the hip hop community, people wouldn't be talking about these conditions near as much just because it's almost common knowledge nowadays what the ghetto is and how these rappers are being raised. The next page I'm going to talk about is my theory of writing page. And this I go into depth about basically some of the specific things, some of my specific growth as a writer throughout the process of the ePortfolio, and basically talking about how like I was able to adapt to genre even though I was kind of struggling with what it meant and everything, and just kind of context and how I adjusted myself into putting myself in the right context for this assignment. But something I found frustrating about this was I found myself kind of speaking in the third person, not the third person, but I guess it would be, but basically speaking, yeah, it is third person. Like I was talking to the reader, like I was a teacher and instructor, like basically like going and talking about, okay, for good writing you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and I didn't necessarily go into depth, and I wish I would have, about how how I discovered, because that's the reason I was writing about them, is because those are my growth as a writer, and I kind of went into second person a little bit there, but basically what I wish I would have done more is kind of go into more depth about how I discovered these attributes I can improve on, and how I discovered like basically like specific avenues of improvement, if that makes any sense. Like for example, genre I struggled with a lot early on, but then throughout like reading different pieces and reading different like writing about different writing in the genre of what I was trying to contribute to, I learned a lot about what it takes to basically adapt to different contexts and different boundaries, I guess you'd say. Knowledge of conventions would be a better word.